What's up, everybody? It's Hey Ribbit! And we are back in Neverwinter. So, I had to be offline for a little bit and figure out how to fix this little wooden insignia BS. But I did it. I fixed it. So, now we can move on to the next thing. But first... I had to get rid of some insignia. But, you know, what are you gonna do?
Protector's Enclave needs your help. With your new knowledge of artifacts and mounts, you will be well equipped to deal with the next task. Have you heard of the Guild of Underdark Guides? They're a group that specializes in leading expeditions into the sprawling underground realm known as the Underdark. Word is, they've put out a call for adventurers to help them in the area they call the North Dark. Sounds right up your alley, doesn't it? You might want to check it out. The call came from a guide named Davin Hoth. He's the man you should look for. That was just a real pain in the butt, you know. I accidentally refined the wrong thing. Should we be quiet here? Should we whisper? Maybe we should talk really loud. Maybe like this. Sort of an ASMR kind of thing. I used to talk like this to some birds. I used to put them to sleep.
The Underdark has a million ways to kill the unprepared. Most of them are quite gruesome.
So, you're here to help? No one from the surface knows the North Dark like the Guild of Underdark guys. But when we run into real trouble, we usually call in some serious muscle. Namely, experienced adventurers like you. The Drought
Hey,
took
Scoob,
many
what's
of our
up?
guides captive recently.
Same old,
we're doing
same old. I
everything we
finally
can
figured
to
out
get
that
them
stupid
back.
insignia that was giving me
Perhaps
issues
you
last
can help
time.
with our preparations.
So, now we're in the Underdark. Or, technically, the Whispering Caverns.
The whole camp is working together to prepare for freeing our captured guides. I believe our ranger Megan Arrowroot needs the aid of an adventurer.
Yeah, so now we don't have to run around the city again.
She's trying to
I
gather
mean, if,
some particular kind of berry from the verdant caves.
If I had
You should
to, I
speak
would have
with
just
her.
switched to a different game. Lord knows I got enough of them that I could start streaming. Or I could have just done more Skyrim.
The area called the Verdant Caves is like an oasis in the midst of a desert. For those who venture into the Underdark.
How about you, Scoob? How are you doing?
Waves of wizard fire found there provide enough light to sustain lush plant growth. That's why we chose this area for our base of operations, despite the presence of an abandoned drow settlement nearby. Unfortunately, the drow have returned and captured some of our scouts. We're working on a plan to save our imprisoned comrades. If you can find keys to the holding cells on the drow hunting in the area, we'll have a
What's
real
got you tired?
shot at
Just
saving my
doing a
people.
lot.
It's time the guild...
I've dedicated my life to charting these steps, yet I've only scratched the surface of all there is to discover.
Few people on the surface have any notion of the fascinating world that lies below.
I never thought I'd end up in charge of provisions and medicinal herbs when I joined the Guides, but I was a ranger for several years on the surface.
Ah, that sucks. I know how much of a strain it can be to move. And I imagine it's worse when you're having to do it with your family. But, you know, I'm sure you'll find a good school for your little bro. I will say this, your internet over there must be awesome. It would have taken our internet guys forever to set up a new connection if we moved. Yeah, I mean, like I said, where I'm at, we have like 2 options, and they both suck. Yeah. What's really funny about it, though, is one of them, for like the better part of several years, has had the worst customer service of anything. So it's just, it's almost like, what's the point? But unfortunately, you know, internet has become, basically, it's like power or water. Basically, you kind of need it nowadays. I hope you don't have a spider phobia, because the Underdark is full of them. Yeah, I kind of get. I can understand why that would be. I personally don't have an issue with spiders. Scorpions, on the other hand, those little bastards, I hate them. I blame Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That scarred an entire generation of kids. Seeing where the little ant gets killed by the scorpion. That and they're just vicious. Spiders, on the other hand, for the most part, depending on your species, you leave it alone, they'll leave you alone. Oh, we got some drown. Relatively good movie. I don't know how well it holds up, but yep. Although where I'm at, we have fire ants. Little jerks. They are vicious. I mean, they're not like black ants or sugar ants or whatnot, but fire ants, when they bite you, they release like a little acid that burns. And it's not bad enough that only one gets you, like they'll swarm you. So, you know, they're little jerks. Oh, it is. Imagine you're just cutting the grass and all of a sudden your legs start hurting like a bastard. You look down and you're covered with little red bastards who are biting the hell out of you. I mean, on the bright side, it's not corrosive to your skin, like say a brown recluse or a black widow or something. So you won't get necrosis from it. It just hurts. Yeah, a good house spider, they tend to more or less, you know, like to do their own thing. For the most part, if they're the little tiny ones with the crab arms, I leave them alone. The only ones I really worry about are the recluses and the widows around here. And the biggest problem I have with the recluses is they also look like another species of spider we have over here called the wolf spider. And the wolf spider is more or less, you know, harmless. It's the recluse that can cause necrosis if it bites you. Scorpions and snakes, believe it or not. Those are the two animals I do not like to deal with. Great because, well, I mean, it's kind of funny because I love lizards. Lizards are fun. Moles, bearded lizards, iguanas, no problem with them. Snakes. I think I was a freshman in high school when they brought in a whole bunch of reptiles, and they brought in a boa that was about 20 feet long, and they're like, "You want to hold it?" I'm like, "Oh, hell no." What's for dinner tonight? Somebody make it, or did you get carry out? One of the few things I am in the process of learning. I've kind of mastered what is it? Not the burritos, the enchiladas. Apparently I make a pretty good enchilada. Eventually I'll get the chimichangas. Is there a particular style of food you're not too into? I think I have gone too far. The little joke I made at the beginning, which, you know, is not a big deal, but where you start at on this board, or stage, or whatever you call it, called the Whispering Cave, and It's a lame joke, but I was saying, you know, I thought that was a drider. Okay. Find somewhere to park real quick. I'll be right back, Scoob. I gotta go catch a cat. It's okay, Scoop. I mean, I'd rather you eat rather than starve, and no worries, I caught me a cat. What's it happening here? Redo my loads here because I don't know, it seems like lightning does not do very well against spiders. Alright. Bridge is a bridge too far. Finally. Well, it was a couple of little things. My friend nicknamed me Ribbit. Through no fault of my own, really. They're the kind of guys that, you know, I found out when they would drink soda and they'd burp, they'd let out a loud ribbit. And I copycatted them. Since my name sounds similar, they just started calling me Ribbit. And the hay part comes from one of two sources. I'm a bit of a fan of old comedy. So if you've ever heard of Abbott and Costello, one of the catchphrases, I forget which, Costello I believe, whenever he'd get into trouble or something, he'd yell out, "Hey Abbott!" So I just kind of thought it'd be funny, and I combined the two. Yeah, I thought it would be funny. I mean, it's memorable at the very least. It is my hope that one day, if more folk decide to join us here, you know, whenever we start a stream, you know, I can get a nice yell of, "Hey, Ribbit!" Time to ride my battle snail. Dun, 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 dun. Well, that's good. Was this the same one who had the wrapper issue, or?
Looks like you've brought plenty of bitter berries for the cat. I know Megan will appreciate this. I'll bring them to her. so you can get started on our next task.
Well, still, regardless, it's great that she came back.
With these keys,
she is fixed, isn't she?
when the
Otherwise, she
Drow
might have some
attacked,
children
we
to
were
deal
camped
with.
in the abandoned settlement of Cisrena. They weren't happy that we were
Aw, I'm
staying
sorry
in
for
their
Miss
old
Raffer.
city.
Well, that's good.
Ask away. Knowledge is power, after all.
Kittens are fun, but when you got a whole mess of them. They are rambunctious. Ginger Baker is like very rambunctious right now. Luna has... I used to have cats that do that. These two, not so much. I mean, Ginger will sleep on my lap when I'm working on my computer, but, Luna, not so much. Actually, I think there was something I saw on YouTube, so, you know, grain of salt. Where the cat sleeps on you is basically how it's telling you how it feels about you. If I remember correctly, feet means it sees that you're safe. When they get up to like your arms and your chest, or arms means it knows you'll protect them, and chest means you've been claimed, basically. Yeah, I'm actually have some news reports around that folks are bringing cats back to the pound because they're either A, too needy, or B, too affectionate. They fell for the old cats or aloof kind of thing, which, you know, cats can be, but cats are also really, if they love you, they're not going to leave you alone. Some folks are just goofy, would be the best way to put it. I could use some epitaphs. But I'll be good. Luna, interestingly enough, is harness trained. We actually can put a harness and leash on her and take her outside for walks. We've only done this because I was taking care of my elder brother's cat, and he was trained to walk on a leash in Las Vegas. So he was good with crowds, and they would go out into the desert and climb mountains, and you know, he was a very loyal and smart cat, and we trained Luna to more or less be the same way. So are your two Furbies harness trained, or are they just free range? Sometimes I think that's just the best way for them to be. I mean, it's fun being able to walk your cat around, because then people are looking at you like, oh my god, how'd you do that? But it's not like walking a dog. They can't really protect themselves like dogs do, and you gonna say anything to me, buddy? I mean, not you, Scoot, but this goofball here. But yeah, personally, sometimes I think free range is better, just because you don't lose as much in the personality of the cat, in my opinion. And of course, the downside of free range is they get into so much trouble. Bro, just not a big fan of Mexicans. Little bro sounds like a little kid. I won't ask how little, but yeah, I get it. Pudding is better than dinner sometimes. Oh, wow. You should be well beyond the picky stage, then. But, you know, everybody's different. I mean, as old as I am, I'm still fussy about if I get anywhere near peas. I hate peas so bad. I'm not overly fond of eggplant either. Yeah. Sadly, that does come with its own set of hurdles, depending on how far up the spectrum you are. We used to have a friend who had a kid or has a kid who is in the same boat, and he wasn't really a food thing to my knowledge, but he was obsessed with weather patterns. And Ginger has climbed underneath a large bed to play. We have an old dog bed here, and he is climbing around under it. Like a little weirdo. In case you've never seen one, Scoop, this is a Drider. Dark elf, a drow that managed to piss off their god, and for punishment, turned him into a half-elf, half-fighter critter. Basically, it's an insectoid centaur. Thanks so much. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing at the moment. Let's see, do I want to go in the pit? Probably not. My luck, I'll just stop. Indeed. The guy just jumped down into the pit. Fun time with the drow. The shield is down. Run free. I think it was just the 4 of them. Guess that means I need to be jumping down in this hole. Bother me when I'm trying to unlock cages here. No respect. We did it! That's a shame. But I know it's hard for some folks to get close to others, especially when they're in a new area and there's a lot of new stuff going on right now. Hopefully with time they'll get used to their tutor and have a little more ease with them. At least until you guys can find a good school for them. We have a sock we filled with fluff, and Ginger is in love with this thing. He carries it around everywhere. He beats the ever-living crap out of it. Right now he's flipping around, bunny kicking the ever-loving hell out of it. While Luna was trying to sustain. Yeah, that's pretty much cats in a nutshell, isn't it? Cute and vicious. He's over here messing with Luna. Got to bop him on the head. She's gotten a lot better at him, about him. She doesn't growl as much, unless he's getting too rambunctious. But yeah, now they're within a foot of each other, and they're not trying to kill one another, so... He's got kitten ADD. He'll go after anything. He's going after his sock again.
The prisoners made it back, and every one of them is singing your praises. I've sent them topside. They'll need time to recover from their ordeal. From what they've told me, Mandrake was moved to another drow camp, the Zolaran outpost. That's our next target.
I'd hope Mandrake Deepwise will be amongst the prisoners you rescued. Mandrake is something of a legend in the guild. Normally, I'd say it's a shame to lose another guide and get over it. But Mandrake, he doesn't get taken without a fight. The drow must know his value. If I were them, I'd take him for interrogation. Invade the Zolaran outpost, kill any drow that stand in your way, and bring Mandrake Deepwise back to us.
Yeah, we used to have a dog when we first got Luna, and she was a baby. The dog was terrified of her. Mind you, she wasn't a big dog, but she was still bigger than Luna was at the time. Honestly, she'd be bigger than Luna was now. She's passed on. But, yeah. It is funny to watch how cats will just bop the dog on the nose, and depending on the dog, they'll either run away crying or what have you. Well, unfortunately, she was an older dog, and she was a mutt, so we're not quite sure. We just know that one day she wasn't doing so good, and had to take her to the vet, and that was that. Sad thing, she was a sweet little dog. Funniest thing was she was built like a whippet, but had the wolf of a pit bull. And she was loud. Everybody thought she was much bigger than she actually was. Yeah. I miss her sometimes. What's this bull? Well, Scoob, I think I'm gonna end it here for the day. You know, as always, thanks for coming by and hanging out. I mean, especially since you've had such a busy week, I really appreciate that you decided to come by. And I appreciate that you found my YouTube channel. For those who are listening in eventually, you know, it's Hey Ribbit 21. Go to my About and Twitch, and you'll find the link. Thanks to Scoob, I fixed that. I gotta give credit where credit is due.
Interesting thought.
But yeah, I'm just gonna have to end it here for the day. So Wednesday at 2 o'clock, we will be back in Skyrim, since we finally got past that issue with the dragons. Let's see, what are we doing? Yeah. We're gonna have to find a way into Sovngarde. Yeah, and I do appreciate that you come by and talk all the time, man. I really do. But, you know, get some rest. And, you know, enjoy your new place. I hope you'll have fun.
It seems quite possible that one could cross the
All right,
length
Scoob,
of
you have a great day,
without
too.
ever leaving the Underdark.
Bye-bye.